I'm Valley Storm Team meteorologist Andrew Shipley, and we do have a new tornado warning. That's right, a tornado warning in effect for parts of Hidalgo County into Willacy County, and that does include Raymondville and Lyford. This goes until 1:45. It's currently 1:34, so you got about another 11 minutes or so of this tornado warning. That means if you are in the warning area and you need to go inside your home, maybe the center of your home, again, they don't have indication that there's something on the ground, but this is radar indicated. So that means for you at home that the NWS, the National Weather Service in Brownsville, has indicated that they saw some rotation in there, and they have put out a tornado warning. And Chris is kind of circling there. This is what we call our velocity product. So this is what we use on our radar, and it kind of points out where we see some spin in the atmosphere for us. So the red colors are moving away from the radar. The green colors are moving towards the radar, and the radar again in Brownsville. And you can see in this area right in here is where that circulation is, where Chris has that the mouse there, and you're looking about Raymondville in about 19 minutes from now if it keeps its current rate of speed. But again, nothing is confirmed on the ground. They've just seen some indication that there is some rotation up in the clouds, and we're keeping an eye on this. And again, this goes until 1:45. Chris, can you hop back into the, yeah, thank you. Again, this goes to 1:45. You can see all that heavy rain associated with this. Again, we are watching, again, another tornado warning. We have several severe thunderstorm warnings. We have flood warnings out there for you. Some spots have already even picked up 3, 4, maybe even 5 inches worth of rainfall as this continues to move through. But our main focus right now, again, is on parts of Willacy County. Again, there's a lot of farm country up there, but a lot of folks live up in Raymondville. And again, that's a 1:45 at this time. It's another, looking at the clock here, it's 1:36 right now. Chris, you were going to say something?
Yeah, Andrew, I just want to go ahead and just kind of reiterate here that with this tornado warning, this storm is moving to the northeast at 40 miles an hour. So it's a very fast moving storm here for Willacy County. So if you are in Raymondville, we kind of have to stress this enough that the National Weather Service did issue that tornado warning that expires at 1:45. We are still dealing with some very heavy rain all across the valley with that increasing flooding threat. So we have that flooding threat as well as that tornado threat in effect for the valley at this time. I'm going to go ahead and loop this entire radar so we can see the direction of where these storms are headed. They're heading in more of a northeast direction.
So yeah. So basically from Elsa through Raymondville. So Chris, can you actually illustrate and draw like a line there if you can, and kind of point out to the direction there. So again, if you're looking basically from La Jolla, you're almost in a diagonal direction through Raymondville, and that's where you're looking at that direction moving towards. Basically, if you're going to draw a line from La Jolla out towards Port Mansfield, that's the direction of these storms for you. But again, the main focus, again, is that tornado warning for you. Thank you, Chris. They're drawing those arrows in. So it's, again, that northeast direction that you are watching for that movement there. But look at all that red. That's that heavy, heavy rain for you. And that's where we are looking at that flooding threat. But again, tornado warning in effect until, again, 1:45 for you. And the rest of the area. So, Chris, can you actually click on the yellow, the severe thunderstorm warning there? That's the 215. That includes Willacy County down towards Cameron County, and then out towards the west into Hidalgo County, so portions of Weslaco, Elsa, Progreso, Alamo, seeing that Lyford, Santa Rosa, down towards La Feria. Again, tornado warning, though, in effect for Raymondville and Lyford until 1:45. So that's another, let's looking at the clock, it's 1:38 right now, so we have another, like I said, looking at the clock, again, 6 minutes or so of that tornado warning, again, in effect for Raymondville at this time. And again, this is radar indicated, so we do not have confirmation of anything on the ground, but we want you to be weather aware. And again, if you are out and about, maybe find somewhere you can stay out of your car, go into a building, more sound structure for you, just in case something does produce a tornado. But again, right now, this is just radar indicated. So that doesn't mean there's something on the ground. That means that they're seeing some kind of rotation in the atmosphere that could trigger a tornado. And again, looking at the radar here, Raymondville, you're kind of out in front of this. Lyford, you're kind of right on the edge of those heavier storms. So my gut tells me that if there is going to be something produced, it's going to be right in here for you, and then move off to the northeast again towards Raymondville for you, and up along basically 69E up towards 77. So you're going to keep an eye on that. But again, I don't see looking at the velocity data. So this is one of those products, again, we use to indicate rotation. So red is away from the radar site in Brownsville. Green is towards the radar site, and we're looking for spin, a very tight couplet, and I don't see that here on radar. So that's a good sign for me that we actually do not possibly have a tornado on the ground. Doesn't mean that there's indications that the National Weather Service is seeing there, and that's why they did put that tornado warning out. Now, that's why we're saying it's radar indicated. So we do not right now have a tornado on the ground, but we're watching very closely for that possibility there as well. Chris, you want to add something?
And I totally agree with you, Andrew, is that we are seeing that weakening of that rotation that we saw. It was very kind of well distinct in and around Hidalgo County and the Willacy County line. But as we are now going into the next 5-10 minutes, you are about to get some very heavy rain and some dangerous lightning to come into Raymondville, as well as heavy rain still continuing to fall all across Hidalgo County, stretching from Alamo, Weslaco, Progreso, Elsa, and now the strongest part of this storm is looking to be moving into Raymondville within the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly, Chris. And that's the thing is, this is not just a tornado threat. This is also a lot of lightning. We saw earlier, and we were talking about this on Facebook Live, that we had even a lightning strike that hit a tree, and I believe that was in Hidalgo County, Chris, that hit the tree there and caught fire. So literally, you got lightning, you have heavy rains, you have the tornado threat for us there as well. And again, that tornado warning goes until 1:45. And this is the second tornado warning that we've seen. The earlier one was down towards Mission, also was a radar indicator. We had no confirmation of anything on the ground. Very similar to this. And that's, again, the National Weather Service indicated that they saw some rotation there. So they are watching that. Now, Chris is also pulling up rainfall rates, because that's another big story of what we're seeing today. And anywhere in that yellow there, you're seeing yellow and orange, 4, 5 inches, 3 inches of rain, and that's where that flash flood warning is. Chris, how long does that go till, that flood?
This, the flash flood warning is
2:15?
About 2:15, I believe.
2:15, yeah. And then you got the flood advisory. There it is, 2:15 for you. So again, we're dealing with multiple things here at this hour, and again, watching that tornado warning, and again, that's where that area in the red, the flashing red there up towards Raymondville and Lyford, that goes until 1:45 is that tornado warned storm. But again, that's all part of this line of storms. Now, the good thing is once you get on the other side of this storm, line of storms, you're looking at more just lighter rain for you. That's the good news. So once you get past this, we're looking at a better situation for you. But again, looking out towards that. But yeah, like Chris is showing, this is our DHR camera in the Edinburgh area. So kind of quieter there. You can see still some light rains, but they're on the other side of that line. And that's the bigger indication that once you get through the line, you're looking at more lighter rain and then kind of getting things down into the ground. But because we've had so much rain lately, that's where we're looking at the issue for flash flooding. But again, we're on here right now tracking a tornado warned storm, again, moving towards Raymondville and Lyford for a heavy rain with this, a lot of lightning with this. And this goes until 1:45. So right now it's 1:42. So we got another about 3 minutes of this, again, tornado warned storm out towards Raymondville and Lyford as well. Chris, you have something to add?
Yeah, Andrew, we are seeing some damaging winds with these storms. We just had another report of a confirmed 60-mile-an-hour winds in and around the Edinburgh area.
Yeah, so that's severe. That's severe.
Yeah, so these are some damaging winds similar to what we saw a few days ago last week. I believe it was last Wednesday as we were dealing with those damaging winds. So it's not only the flooding threat, it's the damaging winds, that tornado threat that we're seeing here this afternoon, as well as that heavy rain causing some possible flooding concerns across the valley. This is mainly happening in Hidalgo County. Harlingen, San Benito, Brownsville, you're kind of in the clear right now, but we can't rule out a possible situation for heavy rain throughout the next couple of hours.
Yeah, exactly, Chris. And you know what? I want to make a point here. So I was out and about that morning looking at some of the tree damage. A lot of those were freeze damaged trees. So when you get those winds, it's a little bit makes those the more brittle out there as well. Chris is actually pulling up some of the higher winds. Look at that, 60-mile-an-hour winds out there in Edinburgh, recorded 41-mile-an-hour in Westaco. So it kind of shows you how much wind that we're seeing out there, as well as just the rain and the flooding conditions, and again, that tornadic threat. And Chris, let's go back to that tornado warning. I just want to keep another eye on things. If you can click that warning there, I'd appreciate that for you. Thank you. 1:45. Again, we got another, let's see here, it's about another minute here out there. And again, I'm looking at the velocity product. This is one of our radar products that we use to indicate rotation. We don't really show it on air a whole lot, but you can see that the red colors are away from the radar, the green colors are towards the radar. And the radar is in Brownsville. So what's going on is you got the winds going this direction. So south, and that causes some kind of spin there, and that's why we're looking at this area particularly. But I don't see what we call a couplet, and that means when those winds are real tight together, and that's when you look for a tornado. But the good news is that area looks to be weakening in terms of rotation, but it's still a lot of rain and heavy thunderstorms in and around that area. And again, we do have that tornado warning for another 30 seconds here. Chris, can you see if they're going to extend this or not?
Yeah, they have not posted an update here at the current moment, so we're going to continue to be on the air with you until this 1:45 time to see. I would imagine, Andrew, that they were going to expire this.
I would think so as well, just looking at this moment. But it doesn't mean that you're not seeing the heavy rain and wind in and around that area, though, at this time as well.
Right, and there's another area just to the, I'm kind of looking at this area right here.
Right through here.
Right, in and around the, just north of Mercedes.
Yep.
Looking more possible hail, but with that situation, we are definitely seeing.
Look, they just expired it.
Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, so.
Yeah. That's good news. So, yeah, if you were in the Raymondville, Lightford area and you were under that tornado warning, that has now expired. That's good news on that front. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet in terms of rain and flooding conditions, as well as just overall strong thunderstorms. So we're going to continue to monitor this. We're going to go back on Facebook Live here on both our NBC and CBS's Facebook pages. So we're going to get off air here. But again, we're going to continue to follow this both live on air and online as needed throughout the rest of the day. Take care.